Cases and hospitalizations surge in several states. Joe Biden says priority number one is masks. From behind a mask today, he shared some ideas on that in an exclusive interview with Ken Rice.
The Biden campaign invited us to Lancaster for a brief one-on-one interview with the presumptive Democratic nominee. After he wrapped up a campaign event here, we came no closer than 8 feet apart, and we kept our masks on the whole time. Joe Biden says we need to see more of that. Mr. Vice President, you know this has not been a good day as far as the pandemic is concerned. Alarming numbers coming out of our 3 largest states, Florida, California, especially Texas. I know you've been critical of the president's handling of the pandemic in the past, but let's look ahead. If you became president tomorrow, what would you do differently regarding the pandemic and getting these surging cases now under control?
I would go back to making sure that everybody had masks, that you had PPE lined up. We have been making sure we stockpile all the things that we need that we don't have now. The one thing we do know, these masks make a gigantic difference. I would insist that everybody on public be wearing that mask. Anyone to reopen would have to make sure that they walked into a business that had masks.
Couldn't you use your federal leverage to mandate that, though?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes, I would. From an executive standpoint, yes, I would.
So you would, in effect, mandate the wearing of masks?
I would do everything on my possible to make it required that people had to wear masks in public.
On another subject, Mr. Vice President, is your convention going to be virtual? Will you be accepting your nomination to an empty room and on YouTube or something?
You can't say for sure, but it's probable that will be the case.
Can you imagine yourself taking the oath of office wearing a mask?
No, because I could take the mask off in this distance.
It gets crowded on those Capitol steps, though.
Yeah, but you don't have to have it crowded.
Can you imagine yourself having large indoor rallies as the president has begun doing?
No,
You're not going to do any rallies?
No, you asked me 2 things. Number one, can I imagine being in a situation where we're able to do that? If the virus were under control and moved, or we had, like he talked about, a vaccine, or we had ways in which to make sure that this was not being transmitted, then yes. But I don't see that happening.
Back on the COVID response, for all the debate over masks and other restrictions, Joe Biden contends the majority of Americans want those precautions taken and want a president who listens to experts and acts responsibly. In Lancaster, Ken Rice, KDKA News.